Welcome to John Esser Sports Channel, where we do everything Championship, League One, and even running. And today we're looking at League One, and we're looking at the predictions. We did these predictions right at the beginning, a couple of weeks. I think it's a couple of weeks before the window. Well, several weeks before the window shut, actually, because it's at the end of the month. So I've got my list. I've got the present table, and we're going to have a look at the positions where I expect them to finish come the end of the season. Now, I managed to get my prediction for first and second. I think that's my my guess at the minute. Then I thought, well, do I do third to sixth? And I can't earmark four sides for third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. There's so many around, so I've gone third to 10th. I think that's probably a better view of who's likely to be challenging for those top six places. And then I've got 11th to 14th because I think there's a group of teams there that are just not quite hitting it, or I think might just fade away. And we go down 15th to 19th, and then I've got 20th to 24th because I don't think it's fair earmarking four teams to go down at this point in the season. These are just for fun, and I don't want to be saying, oh yeah, these four teams are already relegated, because I don't think you can see a full four out of four to go down. So let's just do it just for fun, and we'll if you don't agree with me, then just put your comments in the comment section below, and we'll have a quick look at it. We will do one about halfway through, so we'll see what we're thinking then, and we'll see how it's gone. What did I have for first? I had Birmingham City for first, and there's absolutely zero movement there. I totally expect Birmingham to be first or second. In fact, realistically, first. So I did quite well. I think I'm spot on there at the minute. In second, I had Bolton Wanderers. Now, I expected Bolton Wanderers to come out just like they have in these last few weeks. Now, Bolton have been improving quite a lot, haven't they? As soon as they got that gist of do we sack the manager? Suddenly started going around the internet and the news, and well, the Huddersfield game became the thrashing by Huddersfield became a thing of the past, and all of a sudden they seem to be able to score goals willy-nilly. So I have no other option, I think, than to keep them in third to 10th. So I'm sort of moving them down a little bit, but I don't think they're going to be far off, and they could. It depends on my second place choice. You know, will they carry on with the odd draw, because that could be the thing that does them in, and perhaps one of the teams below, such as Bolton, could catch them up. Who did I have in third? Because like Bolton are where are Bolton at the minute? Bolton are 13th, but I think they're coming up strong at the minute. In third, I had Huddersfield. Now Huddersfield are playing pretty badly at the minute. Ninth position, 5 wins, 5 defeats, no draws. That's strange, isn't it? I think that that this team will actually pick up, and I'm pretty sure it'll pick up. It's just a case of when will it pick up, and how quickly it can catch the teams above. I don't think it's going to be able to catch Birmingham. I don't think it's going to be able to catch any of the top 2, possibly not even the top 3. So I'm going to go with third to 10th, because I think that band is probably about where they're going to be. So third to 10th, that's about. I did put third. I don't think they'll be third. I think they'll be probably a little bit below that. But yeah, I think somewhere around 3rd to 10th is probably where I'd put Huddersfield at the minute. In 4th, I had Charlton. Now, Charlton are 8th. They started so clinically and so really. I thought the gameplay at the beginning for Charlton was absolutely brilliant. They were clinical. They were really trying to make things perfect, and it was working. 5 wins, 1 draw, 4 defeats, 8th place. They seem to have just stuttered a little bit. Can I see that stutter continuing? No, I think they will start to come up there, and I think that they're going to be somewhere very, very close to Huddersfield. So I said Charlton in 4th. I think that's not going to be far off. I think they're going to be somewhere around 4th, 5th, 6th. So I put them in 3rd to 10th, and I don't think that my prediction is going to be far off for Charlton. In 5th place, I had Peterborough. Now I know I spoke to a few online Peterborough fans, and they were saying, yeah, we're getting rid of all the old players from the year before, even the captain, because we want to play a different style, because we're tired of getting up there and losing in the playoffs. At the minute, they're 14th, 4 wins, 2 draws, 4 defeats. They're sort of like a sort of average mid-table, and 14th at the minute. Do I see them moving? I see them getting a little bit further up the table. But how far is the question? Because could I put them in 3rd to 10th? And I thought, well, I can't put them in 3rd to 10th. I just think that there's far too many other teams that are showing signs of improvement, like Bolton, who are directly above them at the minute. And I can't see them overtaking a lot of teams. They would have to overtake quite a few. And for that reason, I put Peterborough in 11th to 14th. So Peterborough have moved down from 5th to 11th to 14th. So that's probably my biggest move so far. Who did I have in 6th and making that final playoff place at the beginning of the season? I had Barnsley, and I felt really, really good about this, because I originally thought about putting Barnsley. I did one right at the beginning before anybody had even come back from holidays, and I put Barnsley, I think, in 3rd or 4th. And I really did think they'd sort out that defence, but apparently they haven't, and they're in 11th. But they have been in that playoff section. But this early on in the season, in the first quarter of it, 20% of it, you're thinking, I don't see it being. I don't see them being able to do it. I really don't see them being in that top 6. Do I put them in 3 to 10? And I really, really grimaced over this, because they should be in the top 10. They're in 11th. But there are so many good teams, and this is one of the teams that could fit somewhere between 3rd and 14th. And I found Barnsley probably the first one of my predictions to where do I put these? And I decided to put them in 11th to 14th. So that's a little bit lower than what, but if they are in the 11th to 14th, they're going to be sort of like 10th, 11th, 12th. I can really see them staying where they are. I just think that they're not, unless they can batten down that problem of letting goals in at the beginning or letting them in at the end, they're risking just staying where they are at the minute, which is in the 11th position. So Barnsley, I put 11th to 14th. That's a bit of a move down for me, but put my result in there. Blackpool I had in 7th, and 7th just missing out on a place was Blackpool. Now, that new manager bounce has continued, but it's just started to stutter. The team isn't really, for me, a top 6 team, but you have to trust the manager there, and I can't see him. I can't see him allowing the team not to be at least trying for that top 6 place. I don't think 7th is too far off. I think that teams above them, some of them are dropping below. Some of the ones below them, I think, will step above them. I don't think that we're going to be far off with 7th, actually. And for that reason, I'm going to put them in 3rd to 10th. So we've got Blackpool in 3rd to 10th. Now, Lincoln City I had in 8th. Lincoln City have been playing quite well. They started, I think, really, really well, and you could see the class and you could see the style, and the ball was just running for them. The decisions were running for them. Of late, I just don't see that they've got that pizzazz to stay there, or have they got the team depth to be able to stay there with injuries and any suspensions over the time. And I don't think that Lincoln City will have that, and I don't think Lincoln City will stay in 4th position where they are now for the entirety of the season. However, I don't think 8th is far off. Can they get into the? Can they stay where they are? Yeah, they possibly could, and for that reason, I decided to put them in 3rd to 10th. Could they be in that playoff position? I think they'll certainly be challenging for it. Absolutely. Now, going to my position for 9th. My position in 9th was my team, Rotherham United. Now, at the minute, they are in 17th, but they are 3 points off 6th place. They've been playing absolute garbage until recently. I know it's only the Bristol Street Motors, but that win against Newcastle under 21s was filled with youngsters, and I tell you what, they played absolutely amazingly. And there are some players in there that could certainly be giving the first team a kick up the arse. And yeah, a change in style has sort of come through from Evans, and I'm hoping that it continues, that we start to play it on the ground a little bit more rather than belting it up over the top. It does seem to have worked. 17th, we're not too far behind. Can we make the top 6? I doubt it. What I'm gonna say with Rotherham is I think that my estimate of 9th is probably about right. And I think they will finish about 9th. Will they be pushing for that playoff place? I think they're going to be just too far behind it. So I've gone 3rd to 10th, but I fear that's going to be the bottom end of 3rd to 10th, to be quite honest. So Rotherham United, 3rd to 10th. My next team, I put a team in 10th thinking that I was swayed by the Wrexham fans. Actually, I was swayed because I put Wrexham in 10th, but a lot of people right at the beginning I put Birmingham first, Wrexham second, and I got told by Wrexham fans, no, we're going to be mid-table. We're happy to be mid-table. We don't think it's a good idea going straight up into the Championship because financially, there's a lot more constraints up there, and we're going to have to be very careful about the amount of money we spent. So I listened to the Wrexham fans and put you in 10th. I didn't actually want to do that, but with the feedback I got, I thought, you might be right, and I caved in and put them in 10th, and I'm now putting them back where I put them in the first place, which is firmly in 2nd. So 1st to 2nd, Wrexham FC. In 11th, I got a team that I thought could change things around and start to improve steadily, I think is the word. And it was Wigan. And I put Wigan in 11th, and I thought, they could build on last year and they could start to push forward. I certainly thought that they'd be somewhere in that sort of 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th spot. And I remember putting them there thinking, I want to put them higher, but look at the teams above them. There's so many good teams in this division. It's like I've done here. You've got ranges of where where teams could finish. So I plumped for 11th. Where are they at the minute? The 15th. 10 wins, 10 played. 3 get it right, John. 3 wins, 4 draws, 3 defeats. And they've been playing really quite well, I think. Not top 10, but they've certainly been playing quite well. And I don't have any fear. I think I'm going to have to drop that there are so many teams that are doing well or looking like they will improve better than what they are. I plumped for 15th to 19th, and that's a little bit of a drop from what I thought they would be. I think they haven't really played up as much as what I thought they would do. Can they improve? Yeah, absolutely, they can improve. They're one of the teams in that 15th to 19th slot that could certainly knock a couple of those 11th to 14th teams out of their comfort zone. So we had Wigan in 11th. 12th, we had Stockport. Now, this was one that a lot of people say, no, you've got that wrong. They're not going to be all that high. But I saw most of the predictions that came out. I played most of them, and they had Stockport all over the place. I think most of them had them above 18th. I'm thinking, wow, Stockport are into 6th, but they just don't seem to be. They've got the team. They've got the team to be in the top half, and I think they're going to be yo-yoing around all season, and people are just not going to know where on earth to put them. And I'm the same. I can't put them first, second. I can't put them 3rd to 10th. I really can't see them staying in that 6th spot that they're in. There are so many teams under them that are improving. Huddersfield will improve, but Blackpool are improving and coming up quick. Bolton are improving and coming up quick. I think Rotherham will improve and will start to come up quick, but Stockport, I can't see them improving and enough to stay ahead of some of those teams. You could even have Reading could even be improved more than what I think they're going to do, and they could be challenging Stockport for that position. So I went with Stockport in 11th to 14th. I don't think that's going to be too far off. We may be like one off. They may be right at the top of that 11th, 10th, 11th, 12th. But I think they're going to be really just too far away from that playoff zone, because there's a lot of teams pushing for that top 6 place. And an interesting one in 13th, I had Wycombe Wanderers. Now, Wycombe are obviously in 5th, 5 wins, 2 draws, 2 defeats. And I've liked this team. Every time I do a watch-along, I look at their team and I think, that's a cracking team. They get that playing better than what they are now, and they're in 5th position. They could be challenging. They could theoretically be pushing the likes of second place, so they could be they could be pushing Wrexham for that second place, maybe, but they would really have to batten down some of the problems they've got, which aren't that great. I mean, they're up in fifth. They have to be pretty good to be in there after 9-10 games. So yeah, I think that they'll be somewhere up there. At the minute, I've got 3rd to 10th, so that is a really big improvement. That's a huge improvement for Wycombe. I put them in 13th, probably somewhere around 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, if depending on how many and how good the teams below start to improve. Burton Albion, I had in 14th. Burton Albion. I actually thought that Burton could do well. I just thought Burton had done enough changes to that side to be good enough, or they looked like they were going to make enough changes to be good. Not a great, I mean, didn't particularly have a great feeling about the manager, but I thought that they might be able to do something. Quite a new manager, wasn't it? So it was like, do we sort of go with him? Decent lower League One signings I put on there. So Burton Albion, I decided to put in 20th to 24th. Can they get out of it? They're going to have to do a hell of a lot of changing if they're going to. Now we move on to 15th, and we had Stevenage. Where are Stevenage? Because they're in 12th position, so they're only just above where we thought they'd be. Like I said, there's a lot of movement around them. Can they improve? Yes, they can. Would they get any worse? Well, they might get worse, but I think that's probably about where they're going to stay for the season. We've got 11th to 14th. We originally had them 15th, so I do have them improving a little bit. The manager seems to have a pretty good, astute idea on tactics. He's quite a good tactician with the looks of it. What did we say before? Yeah, obviously the change in manager, new style, new beginnings. Quite good in fact, very good signings by the end. I'd put quite good signings, and after that, there was a couple of really, really good signings. So I've got them in 11th to 14th. They were 15th on my table predictions. They're in 12th at the minute. Yeah, I think they'll probably stay roughly where they are now. Couple of places either way, but yeah, Stevenage Borough in 11th to 14th. In 16th, I had my team to watch. We had Mansfield Town. Go see the video on my one to watch. Now 16th, and they were my one to watch. Well, they have been playing really, really well. And some of those wins, I must say, are against the River Plate. And I do think that their position of 3rd is actually quite impressive. I didn't expect them to be that good. But I think it's mainly because you've got teams that have been playing bad that we thought would be up there, like Rotherham, like Huddersfield. Charlton haven't really been as good as what we thought they'd be, and there's been several teams not do as well as we thought. Bolton, and you think, why are they where they are? And Mansfield seem to have taken the bit and done really well for it. Can they continue that? I think they will. I think that they've got the bit between their teeth. That striker they brought in is actually starting. He really is a bit of class, isn't he? So I had Mansfield in 16th. I've gone 3rd to 10th. So that's the last of the 3rd to 10th places filled, and I can see Mansfield doing quite well. So roughly, from 16th to somewhere in the top six. I would not put I would certainly not put them out of being in that top six at the end of the season. In 17th, we had Leyton Orient, and Leyton Orient have actually been showing some signs of, for me, they've been showing some good signs and some good football and some good technical abilities. I think that they're one of the ones that could do a lot better than where I put them, even where I put them now. I put them 15th to 19th because of the number of good teams above that could or should be above them. Realistically, they could be anywhere from 10th to 19th, which is a huge range, isn't it? I think Leyton Orient have the ability there to certainly turn on a bit of style. You know, they overachieved last year, but they made some good signings, and I think that they do seem to be gelling. So Leyton Orient, I put 17th, 15th to 19th. I don't think it's going to be too much different, but probably a couple of places. But you may see that we may be surprised by Leyton Orient, to be quite honest. They may jump quite a lot higher. In 18th, we had Exeter City. Now, to me, they're in 7th position, 5 wins, 1 draw, 3 defeats. But I think it's who they've been playing rather than anything else. They're not playing great football, but they happen to be. They happen to have played the right teams, like beating Rotherham, for instance. They just happen to have played them at the right time. I'm still not sure about that team. I'm still not sure about the side. Could they stay where they are? Yeah, well, they are there at with 20% of the season gone. I think certainly 18th is not going to be where they're going to finish, but I think that we may see them drop quite a way down the table if, and it is a big if some of those teams that we've said, like Bolton and Rotherham and Huddersfield and Blackpool and Barnsley, if they all start pushing further to the top, then Exeter are going to be, to me, they're going to be the ones to drop lower down. I've got them in 15th to 19th. That's another one like Leyton Orient that may be a little bit low. But Exeter, we had them in 18th. We have now got them in 15th to 19th, which is not too far off. I think they might be a little bit higher than that, but we shall see. Reading in 19th. We had Reading in 19th, and Reading have played an awful lot better than what we thought they would do. We thought Reading would be prone to a few mishaps because of all the things happening off the field. The buyout obviously failed, and we expected the performance on field to suffer from it, but it didn't, and they actually improved. So completely against the run of play and what people thought it would. I think they will go up the table a little bit. I've got Reading in 15th to 19th as well. So that's roughly in that same block of teams, and I don't see them being able to make up on some of those teams above them that are now starting to gel, like your Huddersfields and your Charltons and your Blackpools. So can't see them doing it. We then drop into what I had in... Who did I have in 20th? I actually had Cambridge in 20th. I thought that they could do it. And during the first few games, they played really well. And I thought Cambridge were actually one of the ones that, they could get out of that quagmire at the bottom. But, keep on playing a good style. I mean, it's been poor play, but there's been things that I've liked about Cambridge, and there's been classy moments, not very many, but just enough to make you think, could they get out of that bottom four? I still think they could do it. I still think they could make it out of it, but they're gonna have to improve certainly over the next few weeks. I think before Christmas they would have to show that they can actually turn on that style a little bit more often. So Cambridge we had in 20th. We've got them 20th to 24th now, which is not too much different. In 21st I had Northampton Town. And of course Northampton Town are in 20th. I think Northampton Town are certainly one of those that I would expect to just miss out on relegation. They've been pretty up and down, but they have had some solid performances. They've had some really good performances, and I think some of the they have made some signings, but they weren't sort of brilliant ones, and that's what put me to maybe put them down in 21st. I think they're going to be around there. I don't know if they'll get relegated. They're going to be very close though if they're not. So Northampton Town 21st, we have them in 20th to 24th. Bristol Rovers we had next in 22nd, and I really couldn't see Taylor doing very well here, and he didn't at first, and the fans were totally against him. They've gone to 18th, 4 wins, 1 draw, 5 defeats, and his style of play has changed. He has started playing something a different type of football, and I think that they're not going to be far away from where they are now. I don't think they've got the class and the style to be able to push some of these teams that are above them at the minute. I really don't. But they should be safe. I've got them. I had them in 22nd. I've got them in 15th to 19th. Let's see where they finish. In 23rd, we had Crawley Town. Now Crawley are 21st. 2 wins, 1 defeat. 2 wins, 1 draw, 6 defeats. But they're not far away from Northampton and Leyton Orient, and I think that that Bristol will be. I think Bristol will be above them, but Crawley are going to be pushing them. Will they go down? They're in 21st. I don't think they'll be far off. I don't think they'll be far off that relegation zone, but I think they'll be just out of it. Possibly. It's going to take a little bit of effort, but I think they could do it. We had Crawley in 23rd, though we've now got them in 20th to 24th, so it's going to be close. Can they do it? Yeah, I think they can. They got 1 or 2 really good signings last. I must admit, I liked 1 or 2 of their signings. Shrewsbury Town had in 24th, and they're now in 22nd. It's really the draws, isn't it, that's got them out of it. And I don't think they've been that bad. Certainly not a 24th team. I have got them in 20th to 24th. I think there's a bit of a gap between the teams that are at the minute in 20th to 24th, i.e. Northampton downwards, and Leyton Orient, Bristol Rovers and Rotherham United and Reading just above them. There is a difference in class. Those players are different. They are classier, whether we like it or not. I think Shrewsbury will finish somewhere in that 20th to 24th. I think they're going to find it tough. Do I think they're going to go down? I think they're probably going to go down, but like I say, it's the same with all those bottom 5 at the minute. Those at the bottom of the league, Northampton, Crawley, Shrewsbury, Burton and Cambridge, could all go down, but I think one of them will be pushing reasonably out of the bottom 4 by a week or 2 before the end of the season. But they'll always be in that fight. And I think there'll be a pretty big gap then between the teams that are at the minute are in 18th, 19th, Bristol Rovers and Leyton Orient. I think we're going to see a points gap open up probably around Easter. but then that bottom five will become a hell for leather. Try and get out of that bottom four and get that fifth from bottom place. So that's my predictions for 24-25. Do make some whatever comments you have below, and tell me where you think I've gone wrong, where you think I've got it right, and give me your predictions. And it's John S. Sports Channel, over and out. Do like and subscribe.